Well, I'm going to present something I do as a quick and dirty, actually I should call it quick and dirty maintenance tip for brake fluid. I know the best way to change out your brake fluid actually is to start with the bleeder valve that's furthest away from the master cylinder. In this case, the master cylinder is up on the, by the driver's side on the left side, so you would start on the right side on the rear, then go to the left rear, then the right front, then the left front. But in this case, yeah, these were pretty much bled already, probably like a year or so ago. So what I'm going to do is, this car's a little bit on a slant though because I got it jacked up, but it'll still work. You can see the fluid is a little dirty. So what I'm going to do is, it's not perfect, but it's easy. So you could take like a turkey baster, but I'm going to take this suction gun and make sure I clean the tip off really good, and I'm going to suction out brake fluid, not to where it gets air in it, but most of it off the top, and we're going to change, and we're just going to add new fluid. And as you use the car, this fluid that's changed in this is like the main reservoir for the master cylinder. I noticed quite a bit in the lines, but there's quite a bit in this reservoir. So as you change, as this thing gets used and the brake is pumped, what will happen is that you'll wind up just circulating all that new stuff through the lines and get out a lot of the bad contaminated. If it might be just semi-contaminated, probably not that bad, but you can see this stuff is a little bit dirty, right? And like I said, a couple years ago, I changed out one of the wheel cylinders in the back, so it's been, it's been flushed through before. But I do this every once in a while just to keep things in better shape, without trying to open up a rusty bleeder valve. So it's not perfect, but it's not a bad idea. So this is the suction gun right here. Okay, so we're going to take the suction gun. I might spill a little bit of it, not too much, but you can see it's pulling up in there. Yummy. It's better, I think I like this suction gun. I got this 40 years ago. Still good. Still spilling a hair of it. It was down in here. Yummy. And I could probably just do this twice. Yeah, I tip it up because, I don't want any kind of other oil getting back down in there, but, I got the .3 Super Tech, whatever the fuck. And you just fill it up. It's the old 78 El Camino. And it's good to do this because you want to, and you can see it's kind of, I'll do this actually again after I use it, because it'll wind up circulating. And you fill it up to right where, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little notch. The car's on a little bit of an angle, but I got it jacked up on the side. But you can see it's significantly better. So, not too bad. But, what I'm putting this out for is I just didn't see anybody do a tip like that. So, you can see, actually sometimes what I do too is I take a paper towel and I go around the bottom. But I want to make sure I don't dry up way in here. But it's pretty hard to do, to tell you the truth. As long as you're not stepping on a pedal, you're not going to have any problems. So, and then we go ahead and put this on and put the cap on. We're all set. And that's it. And simple tip, but so simple like hardly anybody's telling. I don't think anybody's telling you about this tip. But like I said, it's not perfect, but it's so easy to do. It's worthwhile to do, and it's cheap to do because, and you don't need nothing special. Oh, the only thing is, if I got an old car here, so I'm just using this .3 Super Tech, which is fine. You just got to make sure, like I'm showing .3 Super Tech brake fluid. Like if you got a newer car, it might require some kind of special synthetic brake fluid. I should also caution you, make sure you use the right kind of brake fluid, because sometimes there's brake fluids that are incompatible with each other. So if you go ahead and do this, you probably don't need to do this on a new car. This is really something I'm talking about for older stuff. And older stuff now is, you know, late 90s. That's pretty damn old. I mean, that's a car that's 17 years old. And, you know, I think I'm going to add this one comment on here. I know I've been a little lengthy, but I'm going to tell you something else. You know, I remember when these cars were coming out in the 78s and the 73, they said, oh, I put all the emission stuff on them. Oh, they're all screwed up. And now you're like, wow, I'd much rather have a 73 to 75, or this is 78 pre-computer car. And I don't know when the computers came out, 80, 81 or something, whatever they did. And I thought these were screwed up with all the hoses and a catalytic converter. Well, even the stuff now at the 90s and the early 2000s, the way they're going more electronic with drive-by-wire and maybe even self-driving options, you're going to be looking back at the cars in the late 90s, you know, and you're going to be saying, with nostalgia, saying, damn, I wish I had a car that I could actually drive with a steering wheel that's connected to the, you know, a gearbox, a gas pedal that's connected to, you know, the actual fuel injection system, in this case, carburetor. So, you know, the reason I'm putting out a lot of these tips is because as much as technology progresses, there's other things they take away, and a lot of times technology does progress because there's big money behind it. Okay, and in other words, they got you by the cojones. It's getting so even independent shops are scratching their heads on this new stuff. So these maintenance tips, I think, are just more than maintenance tips in some ways. Keep the old stuff running, even if it's in the 90s, even if it's in the 2000s. It'll be classic someday.